So, welcome. And today I've got something pretty interesting to show you. Because I've been thinking about doing something like this for a while, but I literally just did this today, and I can't really believe how well it's worked. And what it is I have actually managed to create a DIY, like homemade, electric alarm clock using bits and bobs. And it doesn't look very good, it's hidden behind this almost complete piece of green card. But yeah, it's just a cardboard box, but the mechanism is what I'm going to show you. Ta-da! Put that over there. And as you can see, it is literally a cardboard box, but it's not just any cardboard box, because what's this? Aha! Yeah, you might be thinking, oh, he's just put one of those synchronous alarm movements on the back of it, but no. I have created my own synchronous alarm movement using a synchronous time-only movement and alarm parts. So I'll plug it in, like that. Plugged in. And let's look around the back. So, the cord's not very long. This is the old cord from the Bakelite clock, which I just swapped over because I put a longer one on it. Here's the back. And you might think, oh, well that there is a Smith's Bijou or BJM synchronous movement, a time-only one. The alarm versions were used in, like, I think they made a series of alarm clocks, like the CA, aka AutoCal, and a few other models, but they were much larger movements. And that's because the alarm part is not on the back of here, it's actually inside this box. And if you can see, I haven't plugged the light in, the light's in another room. I literally just did this today and I wasn't expecting to record a video. These are knobs and stuff, which, you know, you don't usually see those on the back of a cardboard box. And that's because here there's a little key. So if we wind that up all the way, may as well. You might be thinking, hang on a minute, this is a synchronous alarm clock. What synchronous alarm clocks have a wind-up key? Well, a couple actually. I think older American ones. I'm not sure about British-made ones, but older American electric alarm clocks, such as the Westclock's Ben Electric, the original one from the 30s or so, and New Haven, I think, made electric alarm clocks around the same time, which also had a wind-up alarm. But yeah, it's I assume inside there is something quite similar to this. So they've got a normal synchronous time-only one, and they've just got a wind-up alarm stuck on it, because of course the motor itself is just one train, and you don't want two synchronous motors going on, because that doesn't really make sense. I think a couple of them also had the motor winds up the alarm spring. I haven't done that here, but it's not difficult to just wind it up at the back. So yeah, we've got two knobs, well, one knob, one winder, and this is a little button. And this is the thing for the Bijou. So if I push that in and turn it, we can see, hang on a minute, what's happened here? Well, you can see that the motor's up here. So how can the hands move when I turn the knob? And that is where I've come in and done a bit of strange engineering. Because what I've done is I have taken a Model 66 alarm movement by Westclocks from one of these. Well, not this particular clock, it was just a loose movement without a case. But it didn't have balance wheel or springs and stuff, because I don't really have enough parts to make an extra movement. But I did have enough parts to make just the alarm side of things. And what I've also got in there is the centre wheel and alarm wheel, and I'll show you why in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'll pop these hands off, like that. Oh, there's one. Yeah, they're not on very well. I mean, it's literally, this hand is a hand glued to the back of another hand to make it longer, because I just don't have the hands. Hands are a real shortage around here. Hands, glass, and knobs and winders are just something that goes missing a lot. And we've got an hour hand. And you might think, what's that little thing there? Well, it'll be easier to show you if I had a light, but I don't. So maybe I can shine my phone torch on it. And yeah, I'm just all buzzing because it's such a strange achievement. Oh, that's bright. Yeah, you can see it's literally just a cardboard box with... Oh, it's got legs on it as well. Yeah, I put some legs on it because I had spares, and I thought why not? Make it a little bit less boxy. Also, it's just an open dial with no hands, but I can live without that. It's mainly proof of the mechanism concept. But yeah, there's a number 8 in there. You know why that's there? Well, that means the alarm will go off at 8. Now, the hands aren't on there at the moment. I'll put them on afterwards and I'll do the whole thing properly. But look, one of the knobs on the back, this one, there, is the alarm for the 66. And it'll all be clear when I pop this face off. Oh, I need to take this thing at the top. It's all put together with pins and needles and stuff, but it's pretty sturdy. And I can just pop this out, and here is where the magic is. And depending on how many you've seen before, you might have not seen one of those before, because I can't say I'm the first one to do this, because I might not be, but definitely among the minority, I think. So yeah, what have we got in here? This is all my doing, and I'm very proud of it. Because also with the legs like a suspension. In there, in the middle, is a sideways mounted alarm clock mechanism. The balance wheel and stuff usually goes here. That's where the timekeeping stuff usually would be, but we don't need that because it's not a mechanical clock anymore. But yeah, what I've kept is the hands. The hands go on this shaft here. I'll zoom you in. The bell, the hammer, and in there is the spring and the escape wheel that drives the hammer for the alarm to go off. And under here is a trip spring which makes the hammer go off. And as you can see, there's a slightly peculiar thing going on at the top. Now, this is the clever bit. This is the wheel which would normally have a spring on it, and that drives the mechanism. But I can't really drive this with the motor, because that motor there, the shaft turns at the minute hand. It goes like, what's that, 1 RPH, I guess, 1 revolution per hour. No, that's not right. Yeah, it is. That's a minute hand, isn't it? Yeah, 1 revolution per hour, I think. Which is not going to be correct to put that there. So what I've done is to make the gear ratios back to normal. I've had quite a few spares of these mechanisms, and I've got the centre one, and I've basically got another one of those, taken the shaft out the middle, and superglued it onto another wheel, which has a little shaft in it with a screw. And the shaft with the screw I can screw onto the thing to put it on the shaft of the motor. So it's on there, without having to weld it or glue or anything, so I can take it out again if I want to. So that's on there. This is held on with super glue, but it's doing a good job. But yeah, if I just adjust it from the back, and I have to put the phone torch down, you can still see that, can't you? Oh no, what's happened? It looks all green. Yeah, I don't know what's happened with the lighting, sorry about that. But, no, this is actually quite bad. Yeah, I can do it like this. As you can see, that noise is the Smith's motor doing its thing. Look at that, it's working, and because the gear ratios are the same, you can see this wheel up here, which has the minute hand for the Smith's movement, and this wheel in here, which has the minute hand for the clock I've got, they turn at the same speed. They're synchronised, so that means it will keep perfect time. Well, it should do anyway, unless it slips, which I haven't really thought too much about, but hopefully it doesn't. It's in there pretty tight. So yeah, now to the alarm bit. Yeah, you can see this slightly strange wheel. Now this is just made of card. I might make a better version up, probably with a different case, eventually, if this is something I'd like to keep. And yeah, I'm not sure what the time is on the clock because the hands are not there, but I'll be able to tell you by moving this knob, because it's wound up now. I can pull this out. That means the alarm is on. And I can turn this anti-clockwise until the alarm goes off. Or even better, actually, if I set the alarm to 2, which is right on that little nut there, on that little wheel where the 2 is, that's the vertical position, I guess. And then I turn the hands, then this is going to be more like what's actually happening inside. So it'll go off at 2. There we go, look at that. And I'm really happy with that. It seems to be a working electric alarm clock. If you've got any feedback or improvements, other than not making out of a cardboard box, because that's something I'd like to do, just don't have the materials for that, then let me know, because I'll be really interested to see what you think about this little design. Oop, bloody hell. Yeah, it's just a Smith's Bijou movement, time only one, which didn't even have an hour pipe on it, so it wasn't very useful. And geared into a Westclocks movement. So I got 2 dead movements and made 1 working one. And it's a completely new design, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. Maybe some other person's done this exact same thing. You can never know. But out of the ones I've seen, this is the only one. So yeah, got this on here to protect myself from touching the exposed connections, which are buried underneath it. And yeah, it's not hard to reach around the back to do that off. So I might even have this with my bedside tonight. Only criticism of the design is something I can't really avoid, which is the sort of laxness of the hands. Because there's so much gearing going on inside it. Look, this is, you see, it's quite floppy. And I've got about 5 minutes of uncertainty in there. But other than, I don't know, that's just the way it's done really. It's how the gears are stamped. They're not super high precision. So yeah, thanks for watching. And I hope you find this somewhat maybe useful, entertaining, or something not to do if you don't like it. I don't know. Maybe it's probably a useful video to someone.